Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Brooke Logan dumps Ridge Forrester for Bill Spencer's arms. Fans argue if Brooke Logan should reunite with Bill Spencer on B&B. Social media explodes with requests for Brooke to leave Ridge Forrester for the man who actually accepts her. Shocking fan reactions inside. B&B fans explode. Will Brooke finally dump Ridge for Bill? TLDR. B&B fans are asking that Brooke Logan stop chasing Ridge Forrester and reunite with Bill Spencer, who has been waiting patiently and welcomes her without judgment. The internet is on fire over Brooke's love life. Just when you thought bold and beautiful fans couldn't get more passionate about their favorite pairings, the internet has literally erupted with requests for Brooke Logan to finally wake up and smell the coffee regarding her destructive cycle with Ridge Forrester. And the man they want her with instead? Bill Spencer, of course. What's really going on with Brooke and Bill? Bill has been waiting in the wings for Brooke this entire time, accepting her entirely without judgment. Let's be serious here. Bill is literally the only person in imaginary Los Angeles that genuinely gets Brooke for who she is. No judgment. No conditions, just pure acceptance and love. Meanwhile, what's Brooke doing? Chasing after Ridge like she's been doing for decades, desperately seeking his validation more than his true love. It's not even about romance anymore. It's about Brooke needing Ridge to select her, to validate her, to make her feel worthy. Their relationship has been more of a calm affair than the dramatic, over-the-top romance Brooke had with Ridge. But that's exactly what makes it real. Why are fans so fed up with Ridge? Fans are not holding back about their feelings on this love triangle. The consensus? Ridge is an absolute catastrophe as a love companion. One enthusiastic fan commented, "They were actually such a good match. Both adventurous, forgiving of each other and each other's weaknesses, supportive, and most importantly, he totally had Brooke's back. Zero judgment." Another fan didn't mince words. "Yep, he always had her back no matter what. I still think his true love is Brooke. He's just not delusional like Ridge." The aggravation with Ridge's persistent waffling between Brooke and Taylor Hayes has reached a boiling point. Fans are weary watching Ridge treat both women like menu items he can't choose between while Bill remains consistent in his dedication to Brooke. Does Brooke even realize what she's missing? Here's the million-dollar question that has fans shouting at their TVs. Why can't Brooke see what's right in front of her? Bill provides her everything Ridge never has. Unwavering support. Complete acceptance. Zero judgment regarding her past. Protection and sincere love. Consistency. Yet Brooke keeps rushing back to Ridge, who dumps her the second Taylor bats an eyelash or any tiny drama develops. The man literally can't commit to breakfast, let alone a lifetime commitment. What's next for Brooke, Bill, and Ridge? Could this imply we're finally going toward a Brill reunion? Given the huge fan support, don't be shocked if the writers start moving in that direction. This undoubtedly leads to Bill making one more spectacular gesture to win Brooke back. Given Ridge's propensity of taking Brooke for granted, we could see him discover too late what he's lost. The authors could finally be ready to break the toxic bridge/Tridge loop that's been boring viewers to tears. And honestly, it's about time Bill's character got the development he deserves. As one fan cleverly noted, "I would love for them to bring it back. It's just what Bill's character needs." The fan verdict is in. The overwhelming response from the B&B community is absolutely clear. Brooke belongs with Bill, not Ridge. Fans are bored of watching Brooke grovel for morsels of affection from Ridge when she might enjoy a feast of love with Bill. They're done with the repeated narratives. They're over the waffling. They want to see Brooke with a man who puts her first, not one who treats her like a consolation prize. Will the writers finally heed to the passionate pleas of their audience? Or are we forced to watch Brooke chase Ridge's affirmation for another decade? One thing's for certain. If Brooke doesn't wake up soon and realize Bill is her true match, viewers might just give up on this love triangle entirely. And honestly, who could blame them? Brooke's true match isn't Ridge, it's Bill. The bold and the beautiful spoilers state that while Brooke Logan might be spending all of her time chasing Ridge Forrester in the hopes that he'll finally confess his love for her, there's been another man that has been waiting in the wings for her this entire time. Brooke belongs with Bill instead. And of course, that man happens to be none other than Bill Spencer. It appears like Bill is the only person in this fictional town of Los Angeles that genuinely accepted Brooke for who she was. The nicest thing that he provided for Brooke was both love and protection, and without any judgment at all. Yet, their connection felt more like a quiet romance than anything else. Because in her view, Brooke always wanted the one thing that she couldn't have, and that was Ridge and his constant support and acceptance. It's almost as if Brooke is fighting for Ridge's validation rather than for his affection. Yet, at the same time, Bill has always been there in the shadows and would take her back in a heartbeat if she would only allow it. But so yet she hasn't. So, should Brooke and Bill get back together again? As our loyal readers may understand, the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the topic. Brooke is just seeking Ridge's validation. Some even replied with, they were actually such a good match. Both adventurous, forgiving of each other and each other's weaknesses, supportive, and most importantly, he totally had Brooke's back. Zero judgment. Another critic remarked, yep, he always had her back, no matter what. I still think his true love is Brooke. He's just not delusional like Ridge. And then there was this comment as well. I would love for them to bring it back. It's just what Bill's character needs. The Bold and the Beautiful airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. For now, shoot us a message with your ideas in our comments box below. And as usual, come return right here for all the latest news and updates on your favorite celebrity. Taylor's overconfidence could be her downfall. Does she need to truly be knocked down a few pegs? That's what a lot of the Bold and the Beautiful fans can't help but ponder when it comes to Taylor Hayes. That's because it seems like she might be a little confident when it comes to her thinking that she will steal Ridge Forrester back from Brooke Logan. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Taylor is too overconfident. As many of the Bold and the Beautiful viewers are aware of by now, Ridge managed to win back Brooke in Italy even though Nick was battling for her love again. However, if there's anything that we've learned about Brooke over the years, it's that she's the type of girl who likes to repeat the same mistake over and over again. It goes without saying that many B&B fans had a lot to say about the situation on social media. Some even replied with, the fact that she, the world-renowned psychiatrist, actually had the audacity to tell Brooke not to be pathetic in chasing Ridge is laughable. I mean, this version of Taylor was introduced by shadowing Brooke and Ridge on their last remote shoot. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. What's next for Taylor Hayes? Another critic of the show remarked. And she keeps bringing up that she is engaged. But she is the one that asked Ridge to marry her and then put him on the spot and made him put the ring on her finger. Now, he keeps trying to convince himself by constantly telling Taylor how happy he is to be engaged to her. Is he though? And then there was this criticism as well. She isn't confident at all. All she speaks about morning, noon, and night is Brooke. She can't really think she can keep Ridge even if they're married. He's been married like a dozen times. To what 4 or 5 ladies? Brooke and Taylor have married him multiple times. This whole thing is a joke. In a shocking, swirling storm of romance, betrayal, and long-awaited fan vindication, the fictional world of the Bold and the Beautiful has erupted into chaos and catharsis as Brooke Logan finally does the unthinkable. After years of chasing Ridge Forrester's mercurial affections, enduring his pendulum swings between herself and Taylor Hayes, tolerating his judgmental tirades and hypocritical lectures, suffering through cycles of being his muse, his obsession, his betrayal, and his afterthought. She breaks the toxic chain and turns her back on Ridge, not in a quiet whimper of resignation, but in an explosive declaration that leaves Ridge stunned, Taylor blindsided, and the fandom roaring with joy and fury, because Brooke Logan, the eternal heroine and lightning rod of Forrester Creations drama, has chosen Bill Spencer's arms, a man who has been waiting in the shadows for years, a man who loves her flaws as much as her beauty, who sees her strength and her vulnerability without trying to mold her into an impossible standard. And as the internet combusts with hashtags like #BrillForever and #DumpRidge trending across platforms, fans dissect the decision with passion rarely seen even in the most dramatic soap cycles. Some celebrating that Brooke has finally awakened to Ridge's toxicity, while others accuse the writers of recycling triangles. But everyone agreeing on one thing: this seismic shift will redefine not only Brooke's storyline, but also the future of the Forrester, Logan, Spencer, and Hayes families, because once Brooke takes a stand, ripple effects shake the foundations of Los Angeles society. Ridge's arrogance collapses into desperation as he confronts the unbearable reality of losing the woman he always assumed would be waiting for him. Taylor's smug overconfidence shatters as she realizes that her dream of finally triumphing over Brooke is meaningless when Ridge himself has been discarded. Bill's heart swells with vindication as he claims the woman he has always called his stallion, proving that his love was never a phase but a relentless, steadfast devotion. Katie Spencer's insecurities resurface as she wonders what this means for her place in Bill's heart. Hope Logan reels with mixed emotions as she watches her mother embrace the man she once despised. Liam Spencer reflects on how Bill's newfound stability with Brooke might reshape his own chaotic love life. Steffi Forrester fumes at Brooke daring to defy her father and wonders how this will affect her constant crusade to paint the Logans as intruders. And social media erupts with quotes like, "Finally Brooke chooses the man who actually loves her," and "Ridge is not worth one more tear." Brill was endgame all along, alongside dissenters muttering, "Brooke will never change. Give it a month and she'll crawl back to Ridge." Yet even those skeptics admit that this feels different, because for once Brooke is not reacting from loneliness or fear, but from clarity. Rejecting Ridge, not because Taylor is in the picture, not because some scandal forces her hand, but because she realizes she deserves unconditional love, and she has it with Bill, a man who has stood by her through scandals and manipulations, who never judged her mistakes, who saw her as the goddess of passion and vulnerability she is. And in this recognition lies the heart of the shift, because soap operas thrive on cycles, but audiences demand evolution. And this choice gives Brooke agency in a way fans have begged for across decades, finally stopping the merry-go-round of Bridge and Tridge once and for all. Or so it seems, because with Ridge Forrester, nothing is ever final, and whispers already swirl that his wounded ego will drive him to grand gestures, desperate pleas, and reckless decisions, perhaps even rekindling his old patterns with Taylor in ways that spiral out of control. But fans are almost unanimous in their exhaustion, chanting across forums and fan groups that they do not want another round of Ridge, choosing between two women. They want closure. They want Brooke to build a life outside of Ridge, and with Bill Spencer they see the potential not just for steamy romance, but for power couple dominance, with Dollar Bill's empire merged with Brooke's enduring Forrester ties. A love story built not on validation, but on partnership, and speculation soars about what this means for the canvas. Will Bill buy out Ridge's stake in Forrester to assert his loyalty to Brooke? Will Katie relapse into heartbreak as her ex-husband embraces her sister? Will Donna Logan rally behind Brooke's decision while Eric Forrester fumes at Bill's intrusion? Will Hope question her own path with Carter Walton in light of her mother choosing stability over chaos? Will Deacon Sharp stir the pot by reminding Brooke that she is repeating patterns with dangerous men? Will Taylor spiral into professional disarray as her identity as Ridge's fallback collapses? Will Steffi plot revenge against Brooke for humiliating her father? And above all, will Ridge accept that for the first time in his life, he is not the center of Brooke's universe, but merely a chapter in her story, and fans debate endlessly, pointing out how Ridge's hypocrisy has always been unbearable, how he has judged Brooke for mistakes he himself committed, how he abandoned her over petty misunderstandings. While Bill remained consistent, even when she rejected him, he loved her still, he defended her still, he waited. And now that patience has finally paid off. And even the most skeptical critics admit that the chemistry between Catherine Kelly Lang and Don Diamant is electric in a way that feels fresh compared to the tired repetition of Bridge. And as memes, fan edits, and long threads flood the internet, it becomes clear that this is more than a plot twist. It is a reclamation of Brooke Logan's power, an evolution of her narrative from victim of Ridge's whims to chooser of her own destiny. And whether the writers honor this shift or sabotage it with recycled triangles remains to be seen. But one thing is undeniable. Fans are watching, screaming, celebrating, debating, and demanding that Brooke stay in Bill's RMS because after decades of tears and humiliation, Brooke Logan deserves to be with the man who truly sees her, and that man is not Ridge Forrester. It is Bill Spencer, her equal, her protector, her partner, her passion, and perhaps, finally, her forever. And so as Brooke Logan shocks the entire Forrester-Logan-Spencer universe by throwing Ridge's ring on the table and stepping directly into Bill Spencer's embrace, the consequences of this one decision begin unfolding like aftershocks from an earthquake that rattles every character on the canvas. Because nothing in Los Angeles stays contained, nothing in this glittering soap city is ever just about two people. And while the cameras capture Brooke standing proudly at Bill's side, social media debates explode into new wars. Some fans cheering that Ridge finally got what he deserved after decades of treating Brooke like a revolving door. Others insisting Brooke is setting herself up for another heartbreak because Bill's track record with loyalty is just as checkered. But in the fandom's firestorm, there is agreement that for the first time in years, the story feels alive, passionate, dangerous, and unpredictable, with Ridge storming across Forrester Creations like a man unmoored, tearing into Eric for daring to praise Brooke's independence, lashing out at Carter for siding with Hope, and even confronting Taylor in a fit of misplaced rage, accusing her of pushing Brooke too far, while Taylor herself reels from the humiliation of believing Ridge would eventually return only to watch Brooke cut the cord herself. And her fury is not just with Ridge, but with Brooke, a fury that soon transforms into obsession, because Taylor has always measured her worth against Brooke's shadow, and now with Ridge lost she doubles down, whispering to Steffi that Brooke must be destroyed, not just in love, but in reputation, sparking Steffi to unleash her own campaign against her eternal rival, warning Hope that her mother's choice will destabilize everything, that Bill's ruthless business practices will soon target Forrester Creations. And while the Forresters snarl about loyalty and betrayal, Bill himself revels in victory, sweeping Brooke off her feet in scenes dripping with romance and power, planning extravagant dinners, promising her freedom from judgment, calling her his queen in ways that Ridge never did. And for once Brooke allows herself to bask in unconditional devotion instead of chasing it. But the fallout extends even further, because Katie watches with heartbreak from the sidelines, torn between applauding her sister's happiness and reliving the ache of losing Bill again, confessing to Donna that she feels like a consolation prize in both family and love, while Donna tries to soothe her but secretly thrills that Brooke finally escaped Ridge's orbit. Hope, meanwhile, finds herself deeply unsettled by her mother's decision, not because she doubts Bill's love for Brooke, but because it forces her to confront her own patterns with Liam, Carter, and even Thomas, realizing that perhaps she too has been chasing validation instead of choosing consistency, and the self-reflection threatens to unravel her engagement. While Liam views his father's triumph with awe, admitting privately to Wyatt that maybe Bill has finally grown. Maybe love can truly redeem a man so ruthless. And Wyatt warns that this could mean a more dangerous Spencer empire with Brooke as its crown jewel. And Deacon Sharp hovers on the sidelines, bemused and alarmed, whispering to Sheila Carter that Brooke's new alliance with Bill could shift the balance of power in LA in ways that neither Forrester nor Sharp family can control, while Sheila herself smirks, predicting that Ridge's arrogance will not let this stand, that a man like Ridge will scheme, sabotage, and self-destruct in his efforts to reclaim Brooke. And as all these subplots swirl, the fandom itself becomes its own character in the story, with Twitter threads dissecting every scene, Instagram edits setting Brooke and Bill's love scenes to triumphant ballads, Reddit boards exploding with arguments about whether Brooke finally grew as a character or merely swapped one toxic man for another, and TikTok creators dramatizing Ridge's meltdown with viral soundbites like, "She chose Bill over me?" looping to millions of views, proving that soap operas may be old in format, but new in cultural resonance when fan bases pour their energy into them. And as CBS executives note the ratings spike, rumors leak that the writers are leaning hard into a long-term Brill arc, building them up as the power couple of Los Angeles with corporate intrigue, family loyalty tests, and passionate love scenes designed to silence critics, yet also teasing that Ridge's descent will lead to shocking acts of sabotage, perhaps even an affair with a shocking partner or a desperate attempt to lure Taylor back only to betray her too. And so the cycle continues, but with a fresh twist. Because for the first time, it is not Brooke trapped in Ridge's orbit, but Ridge trapped in hers, watching from outside as she moves forward, and fans cheer because for once the tables have turned. And as spoilers tease that Bill may propose in a lavish cliffside ceremony, with Ridge storming in only to be denied access, Taylor unraveling in bitterness, Katie breaking down in tears, Steffi rallying the Forresters for war, and Hope quietly reevaluating her own love story, one thing becomes clear. Brooke Logan has changed the game, not just for herself, but for every family connected to her. And whether Brill lasts a year or a decade, whether Ridge wins her back or fades into irrelevance, this moment will be remembered as the day Brooke Logan stopped begging for love and started demanding it, finding it not in Ridge Forrester's waffling indecision, but in Bill Spencer's unwavering devotion. And in that choice lies the heart of this new era for the bold and the beautiful.